And now, another exciting episode of As the River Churns.
All right. Well, welcome, everybody. Happy Wednesday.
Yes.
See, we got some special guests with us today.
Very special guests.
Yeah. Let's welcome Bob and Ann. Great to have you here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. And for a totally different reason than what we normally have you on here for, right?
Not going to dance or anything?
No dancing today.
No singing, no dancing.
No.
Definitely no singing.
So, and you know, I was told I need to give more homage to the band, because you know that intro has that piece from the band.
It does.
And, you know, it kind of missed the band. You know,
We do.
really
The
missed
River
band a lot.
Landing Band.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and you know, they just can't go out and do performances right now or doing
can't.
any of those kinds of things. And I know we're in the summer. I think there's usually a break in the summer
Right.
anyway,
but usually they're back practicing in August. The band here at River Landing, and then they hit the road, usually September, October.
Yeah.
So this year's a little bit different
Yeah.
for them, and this tradition has been going on for 40 plus years. So
Yeah.
it's kind of strange for us right now.
So I don't know if we can work out like Zoom meetings for them to be able
I
to
don't
do
know.
performances. I don't know.
It's about a 30-piece band. I'm not sure.
That would be kind of hard to do, right?
It'd be hard.
Yeah, yeah.
But Rachel has a great band that she's put together and
Yeah.
worked with, and we appreciate everything you've done, Rachel, and all the band members for donating their time and
Yeah,
all that good stuff. So we hate that we're not able to see you all right now.
Well, the good news is they're resting up, getting ready
They
and
are.
prepared
They're gonna
for
be
when
ready.
we can start doing that again, right?
and hopefully
So-
spring, right?
Yeah.
We can be back at this
Wouldn't
again.
that be great?
It'd be awesome.
Wouldn't it be great if they could still do a Christmas performance,
It
right?
would.
I
It
know
would.
that's really pushing it, and I'm not expecting that, but
But you never know.
you never know, right? Miracles do
never
happen.
know.
Right? Right, Chaplain Ken? Chaplain Ken is in our audience
He's in the audience
so-
today. Oh, look at what Bob remembered.
Bob, thank you.
Thank you. Uh-oh.
I'll be Lisa's little cat.
So, Lisa, before we get too far into this,
Yes.
I think you have a little story to share about your husband, right?
I do. I think you all know, my husband watches our show. So he sees it on YouTube, you know, after Michelle uploads it and all that good stuff. Then the next day, he typically watches it because he is a courier, so he delivers medications to different places and all that good stuff. So he's in his car probably 10 hours a day in his van. So he watches us on YouTube, the River Churns, of course. He said, so, I saw you yesterday. And I said, you did? I said, how'd I do? Well, you're not funny like Tom. And I said, excuse me? He said, yeah, Tom kind of has the funny thing going on, and you're just serious.
Are you
And I s-
serious? I don't think you're serious.
I don't think so.
I said, really? I said, no, Cindy might have been serious.
Well, see, yeah, that's probably what the word.
Maybe that's where it pulled me down. I don't
And
know.
Cindy's in our audience too, so this makes it kind of fun.
I don't know what happened, but my husband said I'm not funny, and that I should leave the show up to Tom.
You know, I'll tell you the trick. When you say something that you think is funny, even if it's not, if you laugh afterwards, then that's the
See?
trick. I mean, that's Ken, right? I mean, we've kind of learned that over the years that, you know, even though we're not really funny, if we say something we think is funny and we laugh, people will just naturally laugh with you.
I guess that's what it is.
That's to me is the secret. We just
I know.
passed on the secret for being funny.
So I'm going to have to try that next time, if I get a next time.
You're
I
supposed to
mean, I
laugh.
might not.
See, you're supposed to laugh after that. See, if I get it next time. See, that's such a smart... Bob, you know better than anybody about this, right?
Right.
See?
Sherman knows. Sherman's the man.
Well, I think all of you are funny.
Well, thank you. But
Well.
looks aren't everything,
Well,
right?
that's true.
See? You gotta laugh afterwards.
See?
Gotta laugh,
Okay.
gotta laugh.
I'm learning.
I've been doing
I'm
it so
learning.
long, I just do it naturally now, whether I'm funny or not, so... So do we have a trivia question for today?
We do. It's not necessarily a question.
Okay.
It's more of a trivia saying.
Like a pun almost type thing? or
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And it's from Bonnie Smith. And the prize today is
not a
going to
pun.
be a shirt from the Pro Shop. So you get to pick out a shirt from up there.
Oh.
Which, I mean, that's a great prize.
Yeah.
Right? And today, Michelle is off, so Brian's here. And we all know how Brian loves to be called. So we're going to use his number today, which is 336-389-4111. 336-389-4111.
Okay.
And everybody's probably familiar with that number, so
Yep.
that's the bingo number. Right, Brian? Yep. Okay.
Yep.
So he's ready here. So this is, what common saying would this be if reworded in a simpler fashion? So I'm going to give you a statement, but I want you to think in simpler terms. I tried it out on Cindy, and she got it immediately. She's quick like that, so.
She's not funny, but she's quick.
But she's quick.
Yeah.
See, this is how it rolls. Okay. See.
Yeah, Cindy's going,
Okay, here's the statement, and you got to think about it in a simpler fashion. Okay, it's going to be a well-known statement.
well-known phrase.
Okay. A mass of concreted earthly material, perennially rotating on its own axis, will not accumulate an accretion of biophytic vegetation.
Wow.
See, that's not even funny to say, is it?
Nobody's
Biophytic-
looking that up on Google.
I don't think so.
Googling
I don't
that.
think you're going to find this on Google.
He's leaving.
So a mass of concreted earthly material perennially rotating on its own axis.
Lisa, you don't have to read it anymore because somebody already said what it was. They've already got it.
Wow.
No,
Is that not amazing? I mean, did either one of you know it immediately?
no.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we already have an answer. We already have a winner, so don't call Brian anymore,
Yeah.
okay?
If anybody else calls, maybe they can get a candy bar, Brian, because that's what you do for bingo, right?
He says no.
Oh, no more candy bars.
No more candy bars.
Okay, all right.
Just
Not
Thursday.
All right, we don't want to
Okay,
confuse
we'll
the two.
give the answer later in the show.
Okay.
And the winner.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Good. All right. So, Lisa, I think we're into the coronavirus
Yes,
stuff, right?
yes.
All right. So, last one we did, which Lisa and Cindy so nicely did for me last Thursday because I
Yes,
couldn't
we
be
were
here.
serious.
You were serious
We were
about?
serious.
Yes. Well, coronavirus is something you kind of be serious about.
Yep.
So, but again, this information comes from the North Carolina. See how fast I said that? North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services. So, they have a dashboard that we pull all this information off of, and it's been 6 days since we have pulled this information. So, in those 6 days, there's been about 118,000 more completed tests. That's roughly about 20,000 a day. We've had an increase of 9,081 positive cases, and that works out to about 7.7%. So that's a little higher than what we've been running, because we were running around that 5.5%, 6% for a while. So, I'm not sure what's causing that, but that's. I hope that we can start seeing that go back down again. Unfortunately, we've had 141 new deaths since last Thursday. We're at 2,606 as a state. Good news is hospitalizations dropped again from last Thursday. We were at 1,023 last Thursday. We're at 1,004 as of today, so it's another 19 off of there. I'd like to see that hospitalization rate just keep coming down. That's really good. And then typical increases for the different counties. I will tell you though, Guilford and Forsyth are catching up to Durham County very quickly. As a matter of fact, Durham has 6,699 cases. Guilford has 6,518. So we're getting pretty close to Durham. Now, Wake, which is, just on the other side of Durham, they have 14,151 cases. And of course, the Charlotte area, the Mecklenburg area, is almost 25,000 cases there. So that's the bigger hot spot, obviously. And then when we look at it from the nursing home and retirement community perspective, we have 11,454 positive cases out of the total 158,000, almost 159,000 positive cases that we've had in the state since day one. That's about 7.2%, and that's been running pretty consistent. Out of the 2,606 deaths, 1,275 have come from nursing homes and residential care facilities. Again, that percentage keeps dropping a little bit. It's at 49%. We were 49.3, I think, last time. So, we continue to see these numbers kind of give different messages back and forth. Sometimes we get good messages, sometimes we don't get such good messages. It's kind of hard always to know exactly what direction we're heading in sometimes. But, I think part of this thing that's contributing to this, and this might be part of it as well, is we're seeing the colleges, with the kids going back to college, we're seeing these clusters starting to develop in the colleges. And, I had to I took my son to UNCG. He's actually staying in a campus apartment there. And so I've just been waiting for, UNC Chapel Hill had that big issue, and North Carolina State, and ECU, and, then there's out of state, and you got Notre Dame and Penn State and other colleges, and just makes me realize that, there's no age barrier here in regards to the COVID. These kids are getting it just as easily as everybody else is getting it. So we just have to kind of keep monitoring that. And, I guess the ultimate is I'm still just hoping and praying that we're going to have a vaccine at some point where we can all be taking it. And then, I know the one thing you're really excited about with a vaccine, if we get a vaccine here and everybody gets to take the vaccine, we don't have to do the show anymore, right? So, that would be... I know that would be a real... we're getting clapping from the audience.
Why is
Have you
the
noticed
audience
that?
clapping?
There's clapping from the audience. So, I don't know, Bob. What do you think about that?
I enjoy the show myself.
See?
We never miss an episode.
Thank
we watch
you,
it every
Bob.
day.
Even when I did the show?
Yeah.
Okay, okay, I feel better now.
You and Quick Cindy,
Quick Cindy.
we were right there.
I love Sherman, his jokes. They're a highlight for us. So, yeah.
All right, that's enough on the coronavirus. Thank you all very much for sharing that. All right, Lisa, we got some other things to talk about, right?
Yes, just a quick update on the visitation policy.
Yeah.
That went out earlier this week.
Right.
Right? So that starts September 1st. So we've had some good replies from that and a lot of support from folks that, thanking us for an opportunity to have a little bit of limited visitation. So it's a first step, right? We never do anything quickly here. We really try to think through, is this the right way to do it? And we analyze the risk, the benefit, and all of that good stuff. So it took a lot of work just coming up with that policy, and it's a first step.
Yeah, and there's a lot of restrictions on it right now, but that's
Right.
the way we want it to be. We
Right.
want it to be restrictive at first, and if things go well, we can always loosen some of those restrictions up
Sure.
a little bit more. But we have been wanting for families at least to be able to come back into the community at some point, and we know a lot of you are going off campus and
Right.
seeing your families, or we've got, as we had mentioned a couple of weeks ago, we know of folks that can't maybe drive off the campus,
Sure.
that their loved ones or family members are coming and picking them up and taking them off campus. So we know all that's happening. And, I feel like at this point, you all should be well educated on how to keep yourself safe. And don't let your guard down even with the families.
Right.
Because, your families, we're seeing it with staff. The 5 cases we've had with staff members have all come from family members. It's either been spouses or brothers or sisters or whatever. So just don't let your guard down when it comes to that.
And
But-
remember the 3 W's.
yeah.
We keep preaching that.
Yeah.
I bet you two could tell us. What are the 3 W's?
Wear a
your
mask.
hands.
Yes.
Wear a mask.
Wash
yeah.
your hands.
Wash your hands.
And stay 6 feet.
6 feet apart,
Absolutely.
right.
So-
Yeah. It's pretty standard.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
and the mask to me is the most
Yeah.
crucial out of all of those.
Yeah.
So just remember that as we start this process with family members visiting. And so, but I'm excited. It's time to start bringing family members. And when we talk about family members, we need to be very clear, Lisa. We're talking about just the independent living side.
We
So
are. We
anybody watching from the healthcare center side, I'm sorry, we're not there yet with you. But we're working on something with that. So hopefully that'll come before too long here.
Yep. And this week, Tom, we started staff testing.
Yeah, we had a couple questions from residents who were wondering what the tent was for and what was going on. And so our healthcare team has gotten very creative because we have to do this testing every other week now with our
Right.
staff. that they're doing drive-up testing. We're trying to make it easier for our staff members who are not at work, because obviously the ones at work, it's easier to go ahead and get them tested. But the ones that aren't at work, we want to make this as simple for them as we can. So the drive-up testing just is the easier way to do that. And so if you see a tent up outside of Wingfoot there, that's what's going on there. So we thought maybe it'd be a good idea just to explain that. And right now, we are going to be required, at least for the foreseeable future, to be doing every other week testing with our staff. And then that changes if we end up having a positive out of that in any situation. Then we actually have to go to weekly testing, and then residents become more of a participant in the testing at that point. So, but we're hoping and praying that we can kind of keep the blessings going that we've had, and we have had great blessings. I mentioned to you all before that I do this weekly phone call with our sister communities and our corporate office, and Scotia's got another staff member who's positive, and I think Friends Homes also has another one that's positive. So, that's going to happen, and we know that's going to happen. But we've been really very fortunate here,
We have.
so.
Yeah.
So that's good, and I hope the good Lord continues to bless us with that. So.
Okay, well, we have a couple questions.
Okay.
Let's see. Do I still have to call Cindy when I go on an overnight trip? That's a good question.
Is this Quick Cindy that we're talking about
This
here?
is Quick Cindy.
Quick Cindy.
Right back to you.
Okay.
Quick
Okay.
Cindy, not funny Cindy, Quick Cindy. So, that's her new,
Right back to you.
yeah, I like that.
She does. She gets right back to you. You're right,
She
Ann.
does.
She does. She's very quick with her
So
responses.
that is a good question, and yes, that still needs to happen. So
Yeah.
if you're going to go on an overnight trip, you still have to review that through Cindy, and a lot of that is just to talk about where you're going, what you're doing, just to help you prepare, because now there's not a whole lot of things that get you quarantined.
Right.
But there might be a few things that do, like if you're going on an airplane,
Yeah.
or you're going on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah,
would be things that we still would want to be careful with.
Or if you're
So-
going to a wedding somewhere where there's a lot of people.
Large gatherings.
Or large gatherings. I mean, those are more of the major issues that we're concerned about anymore.
Absolutely.
And even in those circumstances, I think it's just a matter of finding out what your circumstances are,
Right.
and then we can kind of work through that.
Yep.
There's no more carte blanche type
There
of,
isn't.
okay, we know if these things happen, you're quarantining, and if these things don't happen, you're not.
Right,
It's
right.
a case by case
It
at this
is.
point. So, yeah, so please let Quick Cindy know whenever you're going out
Yep.
of the area again or spend a night. And she'll be good about getting back to you as soon as possible and talking to you about
Quick
that.
Cindy.
And I think most of this really is going to be very over the phone. Oh, yeah, I don't see any
Right,
issue with
right,
that. Just go
right.
ahead and, as long as your plans don't change, you'll be good.
Right.
So,
And even leaving Quick Cindy a message. That's
Yeah.
fine too. Because she can only answer so many calls at a time. She's only so quick.
yeah.
I mean, she needs a little bit of a break once in a while.
And should we mention that if by some chance you can't get a hold of Cindy, that Homer Honeycakes is always available as well.
Absolutely.
I think
Yes,
he can
yes,
he can
for
help
sure.
out as well, right?
For
I
sure,
think,
yes, yeah.
Homer's done a good job. He's a honey of a guy. I mean, he really is, and so
He's a sweet guy.
yeah.
Yep.
I don't know if would you call him quick though? I don't know if I would call him quick though. No.
Nah, we can't have two quick people.
That's more of a Cindy thing, I
Yeah.
think, for quick. So
Quick Cindy. It's kind of like Quicksilver.
yeah,
Quick Cindy.
or quicksand, something. Lisa, we're going to pay for this one. Sooner
Yeah,
or
we
later
are.
we're going to pay for
By
this
two of them.
one. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, next one. I live in the hybrids and I'm new to the campus. Where are some good spots for outdoor visiting? And of
Yeah.
course, that came up because of visitation policy.
Sure.
You have to visit outside.
Sure.
I think the pavilion in Williams Village, that's a great spot.
Yep.
I believe we have 25 to 30 chairs out there. You would obviously need to space them out a little bit to be able to use there. Around the pond, behind the NPR, right behind where we are right now, that's a great spot. I think there's 3, 4, 5 benches out there.
Yep.
Other benches throughout campus, you'll see them around sidewalk areas. You'll see benches just placed periodically. Another good one would be Marcia's Garden.
Yeah.
I think that's a beautiful spot.
Yeah, and that's
There's a
up-
picnic table and several benches up there.
And that's up there pretty close to where the hybrid
It
apartments
is,
are.
it
too,
is.
So, yeah, it's a good place.
I think those are a few good options. And of course, don't forget that your family member could pick you up
Yeah,
and take you to a park.
Yeah.
You know, the Johnson Street Complex, just down the road from us here.
that's right.
That's a great spot.
Yep.
They have benches there, they have picnic tables there, they also have restrooms.
Oh, yeah, that's right, I forgot
So
about
if
that.
that's
They
a
do have-
question of a restroom need, that's a good spot down
Yeah.
at the park.
Yeah.
So I think you have a few good options. So hopefully that's helped this person. Well, that was the only two questions I had.
Okay,
So
well, good.
Yep.
All right. Well, then we get to the exciting part,
I
right?
do.
Wow, we get to talk to Bob and Ann. This is great.
I feel like we've done this before.
Yeah.
We have. we
Time or
have.
two.
But Ann, I think this is a good time to bring you up because you've been so wonderful, both of you have been so wonderful about sharing your journey to this point and what's been going on with you. And I know a lot of residents are following you, and so I just thought it might be nice if you feel comfortable just kind of sharing a little bit about what I think is very exciting about what's
Yes.
coming up here.
This is
So-
what we've worked toward since December 16th.
Wow.
So, it's been a long time, but we are headed to Louisville, Kentucky,
Wow.
and we'll be leaving over the weekend, depending on what the storm does. If it comes in on Saturday, we'll probably wait and go Sunday, but Monday morning, my doctor in Louisville is going to see my shining face with a big smile on it to start the process.
Okay.
Lots of not so fun things that go on Monday, and then Tuesday and Wednesday are kind of free days, and then Thursday, the 3rd, is surgery day.
Surgery day.
So that's what we've worked for since we started all of this.
Yes.
So we are excited. I know people keep saying, I am just so sorry that you're having to do that. We are thrilled to be
Yes.
I was
doing
gonna say,
this. Yeah.
to have this
To
opportunity.
be,
Oh, gosh.
and the good thing is, we had planned to do it here at Baptist, and things didn't work out. And our surgeon there and our oncologist there know this doctor in Louisville, Kentucky, who actually created this procedure.
Wow.
And he's done 250 of them, at least. Well, probably more than that.
250 of these procedures.
He's been doing it since 2008.
Wow.
And he is part of this well-oiled machine. I mean, as soon as they got my information, it was just bam, bam, bam. They were calls, they were texts, there was a telehealth conference over Zoom, and just unbelievably organized, which
Wow.
I love that part.
Oh,
Bob and
yeah.
I both somewhat
Sure.
organized, and we like that. But, and Debbie Allen looked him up, and she said he's even kind of cute. Debbie,
Hey, Debbie.
Sorry, Bill.
but anyway, his name is Dr. Martin, Dr. Robert G.C. Martin, or C.G., I
think
can't
that's
remember
right.
where the letters
Googling.
go. But
See, everybody's going to look him
yeah,
up now,
look him
Ann.
up and then start praying for him because we need him to know what to do. My doctors at Baptist refer to him as the master.
Oh, that's awesome.
So when I put that on Caring Bridge, and we are on Caring Bridge, so if anyone wants to follow this crazy journey, feel free to go on Caring Bridge. I usually do it, and it is not sad, I promise you. Most people think Caring Bridge is sad, but my blog is not sad.
No, it's not. No. Not at
The
all.
our daughters are going to take over while I'm, as Bob says, while I'm under the influence. That was what
Might
he
be
said
safer
last
that
night,
way.
and I
Yeah.
went, oh,
Yes.
I don't know about that. But they're going to take over, so it'll be more cut and dry facts at that point. I'm not sure how they'll do it. But anyway, if you are interested, caringbridge.org, and then you type my name in the search bar, and there we are with things going all the way back to December. But anyway, when I put on Caring Bridge that our doctors called him the master, everybody wrote back and said, he may be the master doctor, but the master is going to be telling him what to do. So
There you go.
I like
there
it.
we go.
I like
think
it.
that's great. But anyway, we will be in Louisville from Sunday they said 3 to 4 weeks. So
Wow.
we're gonna get to know a lot about Louisville.
Yes,
Yeah.
you are.
Yeah.
Which I know nothing about. So anyway, we're looking forward to it, and our hotels are all really close to the river, so we'll spend a lot of time looking at the water. We'll be in the hospital probably a week to 10 days, and the best news about that, Bob gets to stay with me in the hospital.
Oh, that's
Nice.
awesome.
He will be my nurse, continue his
That's awesome.
job.
I got this.
Yes, you
He's
do.
got this.
So how many jokes do you have lined up for this?
Several.
Oh, dear.
Several.
Oh, dear.
Are you going to be wearing a bag over your head and being the unknown?
I may be home sooner than we thought.
That reminds me of one.
Yeah.
Wiz Horner the other day, he and Liz went to a Grasshopper game last summer.
Okay.
He came back and called me. He said, "You're not going to believe this, Bob. There were streakers at the baseball game last night." I said, "Really?" I said, "Were they men or women?" He said, "I don't know. They had bags over their head."
That's pretty good.
A little levity to break the mood.
Absolutely. Now, see, that was funny.
Yes, it was.
Thank you.
That was a Ken joke. That sounds like a Ken
I
joke.
think I got that from Sherman, but
But anyway.
I love it.
Can you tell us a little bit about what the procedure is? In layman terms, so I can understand.
Well, I don't know a lot about it. I do know that this doctor is going to do all sorts of things before we get to surgery. And you probably don't want to know about that. But when he gets there, he takes rods. And the rods will actually go in and attack the tumor and the blood vessel, the disease that is on the blood vessel, which my doctors in Winston don't think it is. They really think, well, I'm not even going to tell you what they think, but they think it's taken care of already.
Okay.
And they think what's showing up is scar tissue. But there's no test that can tell you
Right.
that.
Sure.
Right.
So these rods will go in and they will basically burn what's left of the tumor and what's left around the blood vessel.
Okay.
And so there's nothing invasive other than that. I mean, there's no organs are involved and that kind of thing. So I think it's going to be a quicker recovery than they are telling me.
Well, yeah, that's great.
They're planning for.
They're planning, Bob says
Sure.
they're giving me worst case scenario.
Sure.
They
They're
are.
being conservative.
yeah, they are.
Which is fine.
Yep.
And then if I beat those odds, then I'll think I'm Superwoman.
Exactly.
Yeah, so, but can you think of anything? We've read about it so much, and I'm not sure I'm explaining it exactly right, but that's basically.
Yeah, I think that sounds
Basically,
pretty
yeah.
That gives us a flavor for
Yeah.
what's going on. And Ann, you're so strong,
Well-
both physically and mentally. At least you give us that impression anyway. And
I'm a good
so,
actress.
Well, I just, if anybody's going to beat this, you can beat
Well,
this.
I'm going to try. The first thing on his list was, number one, start walking. I said, well, we've got
Well,
this.
you did that, yes.
He said, walk at least 30 minutes. Well, I don't walk in this heat. I can't handle the
Yeah.
heat after all the treatments.
Sure.
But every night, about, 8:30,
8:30.
8:45, I walk the campus. And I come up and visit the purple fountain up in at the
Number
The
nine.
clubhouse?
at the clubhouse, yes, because I think it's purple. And I stand there and go, that's purple because of me.
See?
I'm so special. And that's not true at all, but in my mind, that fountain is mine.
Oh, I think it is, Ann. I think it's all purple because of you.
It has nothing to do with me, but in my little mind, it's all about me.
Absolutely.
You can thank Quick Cindy for that one, I think.
Good. But I visit the fountain, and I stand and look and watch the planes go over, and then I walk back, which is a good-sized walk. I mean, it'd be a pretty good climb up that hill when you've had all these treatments.
Oh, yeah.
So then I go down and walk the neighborhood, and I come home and I start telling Bob about what's going on in the neighborhood, who's doing what, who's on the computer, who's walking their dog. And but I walk probably 45 minutes, 30 to 45
30
minutes
minutes.
every night. And
That's awesome.
so that was number one. And then number two was drink lots of water. Well, I do that.
Yeah.
And I mean, he just gave me this list, and I said, man, I've got this. And then he kept, when we were having our teleconference, he kept saying, now, you can take another week or two and get stronger, and then we'll talk about scheduling this. And I said, I've been working toward this since December. I'm ready. We'll talk to your family and see if they're ready. Let them know about me, meaning himself, And my already know, we've done our
Already.
homework, we're ready for this. So
Talking about being quick.
he finally said, okay, how does Monday suit you? And I said, well, that's fine. So
That's awesome.
we're going to hop in the car and drive to Louisville. So.
That's amazing.
Now, are you taking any Yingling with you at this point? Or?
It's Sam Adams.
Sam
Oktoberfest.
Adams.
And
Okay.
Oktoberfest and Guinness.
Okay.
When we toured the Guinness brewery, it kept saying, Guinness is good for you.
Yes.
Oh,
And then they would tell us about how in Ireland, they would give all the hospital patients Guinness. They get a pint a day.
Wow.
So when my doctor said I will be on a liquid diet for a while, I'm sure he meant Guinness in the hospital. No?
you might want to get a clarification on that.
Oh, well,
Not sure.
I still have my port. So I can make
Well, that's not as fun, though, is
I
it?
can make it so easy. Oh, dear. Wouldn't that be wonderful if the nurse walks in? That could be your job,
Yeah.
bringing me a Guinness every day.
you go.
Sure.
At least a pint, anyway. I mean,
Yep.
come on.
I can
That'll
do that.
work.
If it works in
I'm a cheap
Ireland, it's gotta
date.
work here,
Pint
right?
is fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, that's what we're hoping, and then we get to have 2 weeks after I'm released to just have fun and play in Louisville, and then they'll let us come home.
That's awesome.
But we're going to try to beat those dates and get here a little sooner than that. So.
Well, I think we're all very excited for you.
Well, thank
because
you.
We
And
know that
that's
finally
a
getting
good-
to that point that you've
exactly.
been working towards for
And people
almost
are
a
being
year.
sad, but there's nothing sad about this. This
Yeah.
is
No,
exciting.
Yeah.
This is good.
We're all excited about it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I think what we wanted to do is we wanted to have Ken come up, and we're going to have a little prayer time for you.
Oh, good.
I just think that we want to
And
send
it
you
is
off at the right
Ken, not
foot.
Sherman.
This is Ken
It's
this
for
time.
sure Ken.
His
Billy Bob.
cousin's
I'd know
not
him
here,
anywhere.
so.
That's Billy Bob.
Because that could be different.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ken.
And, the Kentucky Derby is this week.
Yes,
Oh,
it will be next week.
Next
But-
Saturday. Saturday.
But if you want to bet on a horse,
There you go.
this is the one to bet on right here.
Oh, goodness.
Okay, well, I would invite everybody to pray with me. Oh God, you have given Ann and Bob a zeal for life and love and laughter. And they help fill this community with love and joy and friendship. Hear our prayer of gratitude that they are part of our lives and that we are part of theirs. Ann has walked through the valley of the shadow of chemo, and she has emerged on the other side because you were with her at every turn. Now she's ready for a procedure that will help in her healing. She and Bob will be traveling far from us for this surgery. Grant them a safe journey. On her day of surgery, help her medical team be at their very best. Bring her safely through the procedure with the best possible outcome. That's our fervent prayer, oh God. Lord, you know Ann and Bob have been such a blessing to this community. Return that blessing to them 100-fold in these days. Bring them back to us on the way to a full recovery. We want Ann to be the new poster child for curing pancreatic cancer.
Amen.
And a beacon of hope for others. Thank you for hearing our prayer this day, O God. And together we all say, Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ken.
Thanks, Ken. That was
Thank you.
awesome. That was awesome. Well, we also have a few things that we thought would help you as you go through this experience.
Yes,
And so I think Lisa's going to present these to
Okay,
you.
here's the first one. I'm going to have you open it because it is a personal
it's
mask. So
purple.
let's have you
Oh,
open that
my
up and tell us
goodness.
what's on it. And it is purple, of course. So,
I love
yes.
it. Love it, love it. Oh, I will definitely wear this in good health.
So I don't know if we can zoom in on that, Brian.
It says, fight like a Regan. Oh, man. Boy, that will go with me to the doctor the first
Isn't that
day.
great?
Yes.
Yeah.
They will never have to find out how to spell our name. There
That's
it
right,
is.
yeah.
I will be wearing that with honor.
Okay.
Oh, I love it. Thank you.
Next one's a shirt, if you want to hold that up
Oh,
and show
goodness.
everybody what it says.
Oh, that's beautiful. And I'll wear that too. It says, "In this family, no one fights alone."
There you
Isn't
go.
that beautiful?
Yes.
And it has the pink for the breast cancer that I've dealt with, and then it has the purple for the pancreatic. And I hope those are the last colors that we have to
Yes.
deal with.
I hope so too.
Thank you
Amen
so
to
much. That's wonderful. And it looks like it will fit, so that's great.
Good.
That will definitely be seen at the University of Louisville Hospital. Excuse me while I reach in here. I thought I might need that. Oh dear, more. Oh my goodness.
And along the fighting
look
theme
at
there.
that. Oh, that is wonderful. Oh my goodness. Oh, that is precious. Oh my gosh,
Look at
it's
that.
got me on the back. Or is that the front?
That's your fighting robe.
That is my fight. Oh, man.
That's your boxing robe.
Look at
That's
this.
what that is, your boxing
Oh,
robe.
that is so great.
Because you're going to knock this out. You're going
I
to knock
am.
this out of the park. That's
And
what
when
you're
we
gonna
come home, I will wear it.
There you
Okay.
go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
Show you
Perfect.
who's boss, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
As if I don't know
I
already.
know. That is wonderful. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
So that's some gifts
all
from
of-
your River Landing family, and I
all
want to
of these
give
will be heavily worn.
and a big thank you to Destiny.
Yeah.
Oh,
Destiny did a great job.
Destiny
Thank you.
was able to get all this
And
personalized
she
and all
even
that.
spelled it right. That is so
She did
wonderful.
great.
Thank you. This is perfect, and I will enjoy them for a long time. And it'll be perfect in the hospital.
Yep.
Just perfect. Oh, thank you so much. This is great.
Well, we wanted to arm you with the right outfit here
That's
to
right.
be
I
able to
think
kind of to beat this thing. So
Perfect. I will wear it in all different levels. This will be to visit the doctor, and this will be all over the hospital. So- and this will be everywhere.
That's right.
Thank you so much.
you're
That's
welcome.
great.
Well, we love you guys. So. Okay, Lisa, I think we're going to do birthdays and then
Yes.
trivia winner.
Okay, so birthdays. Let's see, what is the date today?
Today is the 26th.
26, okay. So on Monday, we had Burl Hull.
Oh, yeah, happy
And
birthday.
then on Tuesday, we had Maven Steele.
Happy birthday.
And none for today. Later this week, though, we have Carol Rainey on the 28th and Jane Kester on the 28th.
Okay.
So that's the birthdays through the rest of this month.
Happy birthday to all of you.
Okay? And then for staff birthdays, we had on the 24th, Tracy Hillard in nursing. On the 25th, we had Patricia Ham in nursing. On the 26th, which is today, Jordan Wilson, nursing. And then on the 28th, we have Ashley Lewis in nursing, household
yeah.
coordinator.
We know Ashley.
And then on Monday, we have Joy Ward in dining. So
Oh,
that's
Joy.
through the rest of the month.
Super.
Isn't that crazy? Through the rest of August.
Goodness.
I know. We're
Exactly.
almost
Wow,
there. So
I don't
September.
know. They just keep passing by so quickly.
So, as we know, we have a winner of the trivia. 'Cause
do.
we didn't even get through the question, and Brian was
I
already
know.
saying we had a
Oh.
winner at this point. So,
Oh, this one's another quick person. It
Uh-oh.
wasn't Cindy.
It's not Cindy.
No, it's not Cindy, but it is a quick person.
Okay.
So, what common saying would this be if reworded in a simpler fashion? A mass of concreted earthly material perennially rotating on its own axis will not accumulate an accretion of bryophytic vegetation. See, the
Oh,
material
now
I'm
I've
giving
got it.
is not funny. That's why I wasn't funny. The material.
It's the material.
I mean, I
Yes.
can't make that funny. So,
You could have said it quicker. Maybe that would have made it funny.
yeah, but Quick Cindy isn't here, so
Oh,
we couldn't do
yeah.
that. Okay. Do you have a guess, Ann?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
A
guess.
rolling stone gathers no moss.
Yay.
Yes, a Rolling Stone gathers no moss. And the winner is Quick Kathy Hoyt.
Oh,
Kathy Hoyt.
yay.
Okay.
Yes, Quick Kathy.
Quick Kathy.
Deal.
So she gets to pick out a shirt at the pro shop.
Yes.
So,
And we hope she's quick
very
about
cool. That's right. You got to be quick, Kathy. So,
it. That's great. Well,
Yeah.
congratulations, Kathy.
yep. Okay, the rest of this week, let's see, Thursday, tomorrow, Bird Club, Bluebirds over River Landing, and I think Jim Burke is part of that, so that
That ought to
should
be
be very
good.
exciting. And then Friday, interview with Gila Patterson to learn more about her life experiences. So that one will be great as well. So tune in, 3 o'clock, Thursday, Friday. And then next week, On Monday, the River Churns will be back again. Tuesday will be Cahoots. That's the trivia game, and it's going to be state capitals. So you have got to tune in for that.
Yeah.
So, and I've heard that there's going to be prizes, or a prize. Prizes, prize, a prize, a prize. But there might be candy bars too. You never know.
No candy bars?
No
Come
candy
on,
bars.
Brian, what the heck?
They're
Why
getting
is that
kinda
just for
stingy.
bingo, huh?
They're getting stingy on the candy. So, okay. Wednesday, Banking with Cindy and Bank of Oak Ridge.
Oh, good.
So that
She said it'd be quick
she's
and
going to be quick
fun.
and funny. Bank, funny, Cindy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Go for quick.
It'll be informative.
It'll be informative. Okay, Thursday, River Churns again. Twice next week.
Twice, Lisa. Yes.
I don't know.
It just doesn't get any better than this. And you know, Chaplain Ken's going to be with us at least one of those two.
At least one of
Yes,
them.
at least one of those two. So
And then Friday is Fun Friday next week.
Fun
So-
Friday. Okay.
Yep. And it's a surprise too.
Does
It's
it
a
have anything to do with
surprise
candy
fun.
bars? That's what I want to know.
No,
No,
they don't
no.
give candy
I'm
bars
telling you,
anymore.
they're stingy with the candy
They're
bars.
stingy.
Just stingy.
He
Stingy.
said
with
it's
the candy
something to do with budget.
bars. It must be, I guess.
Oh, quick Cindy, budget. She was quick with the money, just like that.
So, you know, I talked to you about, and you were talking a little about the Guinness beer. So I think today's joke kind of goes along with that a little
good.
bit. So, whoops, sorry about that. I'll turn my phone off here. So this is called Leaving a Light On. An elderly man visits a doctor for a checkup. Mr. Smith, you're in great shape, says the doctor. How do you do it? Well, says Mr. Smith, I don't drink, I don't smoke, and the good Lord looks out for me. For weeks now, every time I go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, he turns a light on for me. Isn't that cool? Concerned, the doctor finds Mrs. Smith in the waiting room and tells her what her husband said. I don't think that's anything to worry about, she says. But on the bright side, it does explain who's been peeing in the fridge.
That had a lot to do with Guinness.
Absolutely.
Oh, gosh. And see, Tom's the funny one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You heard him laugh, and that, yeah.
That's all it takes.
You just have to laugh afterwards. I know, you know.
My husband better watch this one because I think I was funny.
I think you were very
I don't
funny.
know.
You were very
I want to say one quick thing.
Please, go ahead, Bob.
I just want to take this opportunity to thank all of you all during this period we've been going through.
journey.
The journey, the cards, the food.
Oh, my goodness.
You know who you are. I'm not going to try to call names because I'd miss people. The staff here have been wonderful. And people ask me, how is your wife? I know you get tired of answering that. I never get tired of answering that. We appreciate your concern and your love. And we're just happy we are where we are
Yes.
to go through this journey.
Yes.
And we feel the love, and we can't thank you enough.
Wow.
That's all I'll say.
It is a family,
It is a family.
It is.
And you are loved very much.
and the family is the best.
Yeah. Well, we're all going to be sitting on pins and needles next week, kind of waiting to hear how things go. And I know that I can speak for everybody here at Riverland, and our thoughts and prayers are going to be with you all next week and afterwards as well. But we love you guys, and we're very excited about this. We know that this is a big deal.
We
So,
are excited, and we love all of you, and we couldn't have done this without you, I promise.
well, and
So-
thanks for sharing your story with
Well,
us,
I
too.
love
That's-
doing it, and I hope to be the poster child for pancreatic cancer.
Amen. Amen.
Yes.
And if I am, I'll wear all my,
Yes.
all my beautiful clothes.
You read all at once.
All at once.
Up by the fountain on the
Yeah,
clubhouse.
by my fountain.
Absolutely.
I got one other Wiz story. I told Wiz the other day, I said, Wiz, did you know that Christmas is on Friday this year? He said, boy, I hope it's not the 13th.
Oh, my gosh.
You know, that sounds like Wiz.
Whiz.
Check your calendars. It is on Friday this year.
Bless his heart.
Thank you, Wiz.
I love it.
Oh, goodness.
Love you guys. Thank you
you
so much for
guys.
being here
Thank
with us
you all.
today.
We
Safe
appreciate
travels.
everything. We really
And our thoughts and prayers are with you.
Thank you so much.
We love you all. Have a great
Bye.
afternoon.